that?
What filter do you like? What's your best lighting?
We do black and
What
white.
you're talking about?
We got black and white. We do a period piece. We do black and white.
We look good in any lighting. It doesn't matter.
I think gray looks good.
We look good in
Hi, TD party. I like your guys' mustaches. They look nice. I like them.
That's in solidarity with Dave Young and his unjust elimination from the playoffs.
It's already started. Yeah.
Okay.
Where'd you guys finish this year?
We were in last place
For real?
in our division.
Oh.
But we finished on a winning streak. We won the last 2 games. We beat Tony, which was kind of a high point of the season.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead
that-
Rabbits.
The Dead Rabbits were in first place,
Oh, and then you beat them.
and they scoffed at us.
And then you beat them.
We beat them.
That's
Tell
great.
them about the bet.
Yeah, and Tony, the good sport that he is, he took a bet and bought us beers because he lost.
And he came through on it?
Yeah.
Really?
Now, he's a man of integrity.
I was thinking about your bet where if we won the game, you would buy everybody around.
That's true. I said we were thin
It's
on wins.
unconventional.
It's unconventional. I said if we win, I'm going to buy a round for everybody. So I
Okay.
did that. It was, it was painfully. It was a long season for us.
Yeah.
We
I knew you guys didn't do
We
so
lost
well.
9 in a row before we beat Tony.
But Tony was your first win.
No, that was second.
Okay.
The champ was our first win.
Oh.
And we won our playoff game, so we won 2 in a row.
Okay.
It's a streak.
It's a great
We
streak.
ended on an upbeat note for next season. Set the table.
All right, questions for TD Party. Step up to the mic. Introduce yourself.
Denny, Denny, you want to dance?
Ian O'Connell, PBR here. What did it feel like to be associated with the likes of PBR with that few wins?
Well, I think we had different reactions. I'll let Denny ask. Denny was really nervous about tying you for the worst record ever. But I was okay with it, but then we won.
It's
Because
good
I like you guys. And our record is kind of...
Well, our record was a result of totally different circumstances than PBR. PBR's was basically
bad decisions.
just basic incompetence. Ours was actually due to major injuries to our lineup right at the beginning of the season.
That is
we lost
true.
our first and second round draft picks to injuries.
Right away.
So the season took on kind of a biblical tone to me. It was like we had declared ourselves Irish United, and like Job was tested by the Lord decided to visit upon us tribulation after tribulation to see if they could crack our solidarity. But we answered the challenge, and even the commish was placing bets how long our solidarity would last.
And that's really... They tried to divide us repeatedly, but it didn't happen.
Didn't happen. We didn't crack. We didn't throw each other under the bus.
We were together and losing and having a horseshit season.
You were united.
Yeah, so you're saying the new name wasn't just a front for a totally divided, chaotic.
Well, the Irish has a
Angry.
history of withstanding long-time suffering.
They're loyal
Face of
losers.
adversity.
Loyal losers, Irish. It's just the way it is.
We keep our spirits high and we keep pushing on because we know ultimately we're going to be the victors. And that's what we're looking for next year.
So with all this United talk, is there or is there not a list of who made what draft pick and how they performed throughout the year?
No. No.
Release the records.
There is a list, but it's for internal team use only.
I don't have a list anyway. Now as the season went on, we picked up some good players. We lost, as you mentioned, we had these serious injuries and put us in a bad spot. And we had a long losing streak. And I can tell you, it's harsh in the league. There's no mercy. That's all. But we came out, we beat the champs at the end, and we picked up some good players and we won.
Interesting.
You want to ask something?
That's my dear. So for the record, if there is any turmoil between you two, it's Denny towards Mike D and not the other way around?
I'll let you answer that. I think it was directed towards you.
No, Mike made a great effort this year to learn what fantasy football was all about. He learned how to use the waiver wire this year. He, what else did you learn?
I got it. We were doing some horse shit that I jumped in there. We picked up some good players towards the end. It was a tough season, but we finished strong.
And he learned where to figure out how much money was left in our bank, because he was a little worried that I was getting a little too wild with the on the waiver wire with our cash. He was worried about the cash flow.
Yeah, you did make some ill-advised purchases, but I didn't question it. No, we did okay.
All right, so
Pretty good season.
piggybacking on that, give me one transaction that Mike D solely was responsible for.
Crowder. I picked up Crowder by myself.
One decision that Mike D was responsible for.
Well, after about the 10th loss, I pretty much turned things over to Mike and said, Mike, you know how to use the waiver wire?
We
Go
can't.
ahead.
No, that wasn't the question. I want to hear one transaction that Mike D.
Crowder. I picked up Crowder as a wide receiver.
That was a good pick.
That was kind of, we lost
That's a
9
great
in a row.
pick.
What do we have to lose? Denny said, go ahead, Mike.
Crowder was solid.
Yeah, he was good at
Right?
that.
Am I right?
I think he was the guy who beat you.
Yeah.
So what it sounds like to us in press row is that Mike got handed over the keys to the car and you proceeded to win 2 in a row. Is that correct?
Well, it was similar to when I would be pulled over as a youth by the police and I asked somebody else to jump into the driver's seat.
So
We're Irish United, so I don't really want to comment on that.
He was willing. He was there when I needed him.
He had a low point. Denny had a little low point.
In fact, I'm doing this interview injured tonight.
All right,
He was
introduce
worried
yourself
about
and ask your
PBR.
question.
Hi, Jason Starr.
Good to
Rodney
see you.
and Sons.
Aren't you the champ from last year?
Yeah, we are. We've gone back to being irrelevant.
You guys,
okay.
I think you
You guys
finished
can take
just
over.
above us. Didn't you finish just above us in the standings?
We did. Well, quite a ways above. You
Yeah,
guys
just
were
one.
rock
Just
bottom.
one notch.
I think Matt might have been below us too.
Okay.
Well, that was nice. Do you guys, Denny, do you blame any of your just horrible season on the fact that you sat next to us at the draft?
You're going to lose the job.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Jason, because I definitely want to talk to the commissioner about seating next year for the. Well, actually, we don't have to talk about seating because we won seats in the VIP lounge for next year, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm pretty sure John and Jason will not be in the VIP lounge, being able to interfere with our draft selections.
Well, we might pay early so that we can get up there and sit next to you guys again.
But that was the basis for me starting the Baldwin Watkins launch this year on the waiver wire, because Uncle John was heavily lobbying for us to take Watkins over Baldwin, which would have been a foolish move this year when you look at the results of those two players.
There's definitely some dissent in your draft.
No, I was okay with both. We didn't have much dissent.
There was attempts to divide us by people planting those types of seeds, but we didn't fall for it.
It's a new Irish United. Uh-oh.
Any other questions for TD Party?
Questions for TD Party.
Questions for TD Party?
after this historically bad season, what are your plans to remedy it for next year?
Well, as I mentioned, we finished on a 2-game winning streak, so we feel like we're poised for a great season next year.
It sounds to me like more involvement from Mike D on the waiver wire is the solution to the problem.
Well, this was
Hand the keys over maybe week 1. Maybe hand the keys over week 1.
Well, this was the first year where Mike was able to devote his attention full time to fantasy football, remember, with his recent retirement. So I think he made great strides in learning, what the game's about. So I'm looking forward to a lot of input from Mike next year going into the draft.
Mike D?
Input. Yes, no, I think Denny's clearly less apprehensive about the decisions that I make.
So bottom line is the Irish are united.
We are.
Right?
We are. We suffered together.
Nobody believes that
We
but
just
you,
suffered
but that's
together.
fine. Good luck next year.
I think